Hello and welcome. Name's Derek. I sell physical media on eBay. Videos about what I buy, sourcing videos, videos about what I sell, what sold videos. This is a what sold video. They said it's better to listen to than the sirens in the background. The fire department, police department, and stuff is 3 blocks up the road. The whole civic center, the high school, the courthouse, the courtyard, the pool, the amphitheater, all that is stuff music. So it was another interesting day. Actually, I'm going to start off with got a comment. I want to say it was from yesterday's or from the source video from last night. Something and his name is Media. It's not Media Picker. It's someone, not Jeremy. I read the message and replied. But I forget the name. But it's that kind of sentiment like that is in part majority why I started this channel, is to just kind of express that physical media, and I'm not going to use a cliche, but it's everywhere. It's cheap, right? It's easy to work with, sells fast. For the most part, there's really, really good gems for way, way less stress, less worry. Yeah, but I was commenting on Media Picker's video that he did. I forget exactly which video it was, but I wrote that most media buyers are collectors, and they're not going to be, so far as what I noticed, I mean, my return rate is, so, I mean, there's cases that get opened, but even at that, it's no more than a handful of cases a month, and maybe one might actually get returned. And 93.7% of the time, it's the buyer's fault. It's very, very, very rarely my fault. Like I had something per se. I had something that was like new when it should have been very good. Those little things like that. But when it comes down to more above bread and butter, $40, $50, $60 all the way up to $100, those I try to be very specific. And that's why when I'm getting my pictures, I'm putting stuff in relative condition category first. So new sealed is going to be new sealed. There are things that are resealed that will still go in there, but as I'm holding the item, I can tell that it feels like a reseal. And then, I'll go on and on and on to where the hardcover is the one that's in the worst condition. It's going to be the last one I list. So that's just one of those little incremental things that I do to ensure that kind of stuff. However, the comment was that this seller is shifting to majority physical media because he sees people like me and what I do. Now, granted, there is some sales that are not physical media, but there's still a good. Somebody made a comment a while ago. It's like, hey, you even sell things that help people read. So, and there are some different oddball electronics and things that I will get here and there, but for the most part, in one of the community posts, I want to say it wasn't too long ago, or maybe, no, I think I put it in the video. Someone was making a comment that someone sells like $5K a month of books online. I don't think they wrote eBay. I think they just wrote online. They're like, oh, you're not selling $5K of books. And then I put a screenshot. It's like of it's either the month or the year, whatever it was. Like, well, here's what I do in this category. It's out there. And it's usually the people like the person I'm referring to in that comment that was, they haven't experienced it. And it's like, I don't think I'd ever skydive, and I'm not going to say joyous things about it, but I'm going to have this negative outlook about it because I've never tried it. I've never rode a motocross, a dirt bike. I rode mountain bikes at 40, 50 miles an hour, but I've never rode a motorbike. But I'm not gonna, because I don't want to. because it's dangerous, and I've got enough broken bones as it is. So there's that thing that people are going to have their own apprehension on with things that they have limited knowledge on. It's a non-confirmation bias. You're confirming your own bias by not doing something. Therefore, it is bad. Or another way to think about it is kind of like the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger is someone says, oh, yeah, well, I know the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. I'm the world's best mathematician. No, you're not. You just know how to draw a number. But I know about numbers. I have to be good at math. I have to be. No, you're not. So it's those type of aspects. I went rambling on a little bit too much about that, but for that comment, the media person left. Thank you. That's why I did this. And so let people see that the stuff is out there. And I do my videos completely different for good reason, because I don't need to more money would be great, but I don't need to supplement what I do. I was managing 60 to 90K a year in gross sales through eBay, through not only physical media, but other smalls, low cost stuff. More money would be great, but I don't need something to supplement something else. YouTube is just going to be an offset to money. And whatever it is now, as long as I can make a video or two a day from here until whenever, it's all just going to be residual income as soon as it gets monetized. I'm at 702 subs now, but I'm in no big hurry. Kind of am, but I'm not, because at that 1,000 mark, I'm going to change a few things up. But we got to get to this first. I got one of my cats, Monkey, at the window. It looks like her brother Rigby is there, just kind of sitting at the window, and the window's closed. Just kind of sitting there looking at her like, ha, ha, ha. The back door has a cat door in it, so she can go around. All right. With all that, get something to drink. Monkey. All right, so in somewhat typical fashion, that was a yammering on about something, but it's something good. So let's go ahead and get into today's sale. This Stevie Wonder Inversions cassette tape, 19. This is from the estate sale, business estate sale. This Michelle Shocked Arkansas Traveler. So these I got, I want to say like 5 or 6 of these. They may be in an early sourcing video, but either way, I got like 5 or 6 of these from the Goodwill up here, and they were all signed with this little heart. They were all signed. I've talked about Michelle Shock before, and I've sold one of the first earlier ones when she looks like she's kneeling down. It looks like a scene from the infamous Kent State picture. Here, I'll just post that picture. So that looks like in a different album, it looks like that picture. But this one, $50, 50. Bible reference guide. So I got that other one, that choir guide one. I forget what I listed that at, 60, $70. But this one is not that, nor that price, but it's 24. So most of these things, again, picking up for 50 cents or $1, sometimes $2, really depends. So keep on going here. Keep on going in this free world. Yeah, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street. Just got this one. 26. Yeah, that one was not even a week old. And I got the power. Yeah. So remotes. I got a bunch of remotes from. Again, another one of those smalls, electronic smalls I used to sell a lot of. A box of remotes from Miscellaneous Barn. I'd have to. I don't think any of these remotes have date stamps anymore because I cropped all the pictures down because it's something that I'm not buying anymore to where I don't need to worry about when I got it. Maybe it was like last summer or so. I got them, and there was maybe I forget now. It's either it was like 25 or 30 remotes for like $12, whatever it was. It's pretty cheap. And this one is 19. And some of those remotes were anywhere from 60, $70 all the way down to pretty much about this price range. Deathgasm. All right. Blu-ray, 19. I got it. Pulled out of the container over here. It dropped. Slipped out of my hand. And I bopped this corner, and the disc popped out. One of my cats wanted out through the cat door, and Bandit's hanging out in the chair. Got Bandit out here in the rocket. That's Bandit. Rocket. It's like 50. I'm almost looking at my watch. Some watches, yeah, you can tell the temperature on your watch, but it's probably 50 degrees, and it's 9 o'clock. Wednesday morning? Thursday morning. All right. It's Covert Affairs. Just relisted yesterday. Brought it down, cropped the picture quite a bit to where it's just showing these little edges right here, front and back. Hit the highlight little wand. There we go. 47. 47. All right, these two Sungjae Young signed. They're signed on the signed. And the other one is too. Signed. He even has like a cool little guitar shape. So I got these ones quite a while ago. Remember where I got them? I got them at Goodwill on Waterloo Road. And it wasn't the time when we were down there a couple months ago. It was way before that. And I could look at the date stamp, but I've had these for well over 6 months. But I got 49. The winner of the day is this signed. I'm going to read it out here. An outline of Asante History, Part 2, Volume 1, Osi Wadwo, or Quadwo, or Quad. Well, either way. But it is signed. So this is one that it's very, 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 very. Look these up to see how many of these have sold. Like maybe 2 in 3 years. The non-signed one, I don't remember, or non-signed ones, I don't remember. So is what I did. I looked up the author's name. And so the author on a lot of different subjects, primarily this one, a lot of subjects does sell. Not for a whole lot, but you get something that's signed, it'll be for a whole lot. That's not true every time, but it does. It does help for a lot of things. All right, something else I relisted yesterday. These Juicy. Either way. Eyeglass frames. 29. And then, strange, because I might sell a handful of frames a month in between sunglasses and eyeglasses and safety glasses and stuff. But it's not often that I sell 2 in one day. And these Burberrys. They have this cool kind of bronzing. It's not going to help a whole lot, but this cool like bronzing metal etch look to it. But they're built well enough. I got 67. And lastly, is this Beatles, 1962 to 1966, sealed. Another one from that estate sale. 26. So when the expression of the point of the bread and butter, to me, bread and butter is 15 to 20 bucks. I sell a ton of $15 to $20 and a few things underneath, or a few things less than that. With having that at the bread and butter, and I do free shipping, but having that at the bread and butter and not really having a whole lot of 15 and less, each sale that comes in is pretty darn good odds that it's going to be over 20 bucks. And as you can see, if you watch any of my sourcing videos, I do my math on an average of everything is pretty much going to be 20 bucks. If you go for a minimum 20 bucks, there's going to be a handful, a few give or take in there that are going to be 15 and less, but there's also going to be quite a bit more that are going to be 30, 40, 50, 70, 100 bucks. So if you're focusing more on that realm, but if I'm paying a quarter for a CD or 50 cents for a CD that's going to sell for 14, 13, maybe 12 bucks, maybe even a little less, it's still, 14 bucks, still making pretty much $5, if not a little more on it, right? And again, it's case, disc, case, disc. And I did that to show you, flip it over. Put the disc back in the case, back in the spindle, push it down real good so you don't have to really check that later. Close it, put it in the stack, and you're done. Off to the next. And each of those probably not even a minute. So in between that minute and then the other, you basically have 2 to 3 minutes in a given item. So if I can have even 5 minutes in an item that sells for 12 bucks and I make $5 on after everything, not including taxes, that I can make $5 on. If I spend 5 minutes, and there's 12 of those, and 60 times 5 makes this easy now, because we're going right back 5 times 12, 5, 12, 5, right? 60 bucks an hour. That's the way you want to look at it. To sell below bread and butter items. That's part of why I like physical. It's not a big chunk, but it's the amount of time I have invested in it. And I'm only doing probably about 35 hours. Well, last month, or this past few weeks, has been less than 30, way less than 30. But on average, I'm 30, 32, 33 hours a week for payouts that are well over 1,000. And that payout is automatically all the eBay fees, all the shipping labels I got from there. Few and far between, not a whole lot. Maybe 5 to 10 a week. I might go through pirate ship for. But that includes, all the associated eBay fees and the shipping labels. And payout is at least $1,000 a week. A year ago, when I was making these videos, that's what I was striving for, was $1,000 a week. But I just knew, kept on going. I mean, I blew my last November and December sales out. This December is not even done yet. But I mean, last month it was like 14,000, 13,000. So that is phenomenal. And I'd have to see on what I am paced at right now for what it'd be for the same time period last month. But now that I'm already at that, I want to say precipice, but now that I'm already at that point, it's only way on how it's going to go down is if I don't list. Well, I'm already listing, I'm buying stuff, and I do it anyhow. It's not really that harsh or time consuming to do these things. So it's not going to be the amount of what it is 90-day or yearly, whichever. We'll do 90-day. That number I think is 34K right now. But that number is not going to go down by segmentally a whole lot. It's going to go up, even with that Lady Gaga set, even with that $2 books or $2,000 James Madison book set, even with the $1,200 that person paid for those seal cassettes. That's nice to get that chunk in that one. By average, it helped out the weeks and it helped out a month, but I'm going to have more and more and more that's going to keep that number going up. And then when that sale comes down, out of the totality of the sales, it's not going to go from, let's just say it was at 35,000. It's not going to go to 32 because more sales are just going to add right back up. And that's where I want it to be for the same 30-something hours a week. So that is a long-winded way for me, for those people who do listen and do, in some degree, some cases, kind of want to pick my brain, but it's just decades and decades of selling, and I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. I wanted to sell full-time, and I needed to find a category in order for that to happen. And the amount of thrift stores that are out here and the categories I did not want to deal in anymore, I had to find something. And I did, like 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. And I watched a handful of primary physical media sellers. And James at Boring Reseller Life was one of them, although he can post 2, 3, 4 videos a day. But listening and just seeing, I was like, oh, CDs? He primarily only does music. He does other things, but as for media-wise, I'm sure he does VHS and stuff, but primarily what he has is drawers and drawers and drawers and drawers. Tens and tens of thousands, and probably millions left to even go through and get, because is what he did. He went around to like Quonset Huts and Sun Records and some of these other places that you could get Tower Records and things like that. I don't know if it was a Tower Records, but like these CD stores. He went out and bought like a whole moving truck worth. Just bought the whole store. Like, oh, you're going out of business? How much you want for everything you got? All right, here you go. And he loaded up a truck. And he went from store to store and did that 25 plus years ago. And then he unloaded, and you'd have to comment in his channel to find the video to where he goes on about the story on how he did all that. So he got a lot of these things for 5, 10, 15, 20 cents sealed. And a lot of just so he has stuff. He has plenty of stuff, and he still goes out. But I saw is like the amount of stuff and what he's selling and how much he's selling and how much he's listing, the ratio of what he's listing to what's selling on a given. I was like, that's it. That's it. So I just started going to physical media. And to be completely honest, and this is turning out to be way, way more than the those who know. And I'm sure anyone who does know appreciates that, because there hasn't been a train and a video in a while. And a lot of times it's no more than a minute after I shut the video off, shut off my phone, and I gotta sit down and start plugging in the phone and start doing the editing, do I hear a train go by. And then no more than 2 minutes after that is another one. But it is after 9. A lot of them do start at that. So, but this is turning out to be a much, much longer video of more of an appreciation, and also more of, it's the experience, and it's the patterns and the metrics that it's like, well, if I'm going to do this work, what category can I do on how little amount of work for sales? Okay, well, that makes sense. Do I need to do anything else to this? Do I need to wash it? Do I need to put it in the actual washer? Do I need to check for stains? Do I need to smell for burnt capacitors? Do I need to look for chips and cracks? There's little things you have to look for in physical media, but not as much. And what can I get? How much work can I get done in the same amount of time? So there's efficiency, the things that are making everything proper, work properly, and efficacy, the way on how you're doing it. So you can have the most mundane thing out there. You take this pair of glasses, and you put them right there. And you put them right there. And you put them right there. And you can pay the same amount of money as soon as you do that 10 times. But someone's going to take an hour doing that. And someone's going to take 5 minutes. But 5 minutes is your own efficacy. You're doing it. There we go. Pay me. Done. All right. So how much work can I get done in that same time frame? And if each of those items that I'm doing the work for, the physical media, is going to translate to no more than really 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes handling it in between the store and then getting it here. If I wasn't making sourcing videos, then putting it in a stack and organizing that stack when I get more, and then getting the pictures and flip it over, put it down, and then they have the row ready for me to look at to start listing, and then hand typing what it is, what I need it to be, and then maybe a couple minutes invested in that. So no more, again, 2 to 3 minutes, but by average, that is a lower average, but 4 to 5 minutes per item. And if I'm going with the minimum, it's $20. There's going to be ones that are going to be way less, but it's $20, 5 minutes, 12 of those at 20, 240. That's why I like this. Worry-free, not really worry-free. Way less stress, and more work gets done in the same amount of time. So, back to leadership. All right, 490 in sales, 467, 12 items. So is that 40? 480? Yeah, $40 average. Works for me. So, like what you heard? Well, wraps that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Physical media saves time, more work, same time frame, much easier work. I'm not going to say with more money, because there's going to be different categories with more money. I'm not going to say this or that, but it's much easier work for what it just feels like to be better money. So anything you're going up, comment down below, subscribe, share. It was all free. Take a second. They help me help. We're helping everybody. Appreciate it.